Hello everyone, welcome back to another video for some completed pieces that I've made for the bargain bead box, and I'm going to show you a couple of earrings today that we can make together. First, I want to start off with the precious word of the day. Now this one may seem a little long, but it is so important because of the things that are going on in the world today. So I want to read this to give you all some comfort. The word of God is there to give us peace and comfort, knowing that things in life individually can be stormy, and also as we know, the whole entire world is brewing for a big storm. So and it seems very stormy right now. So this is from Isaiah 43 verses 16 through 19, and I want to, of course, I will explain this too, because I know not everybody reads King James Version because they may find it difficult. But he says here, "Thus saith the Lord, which maketh the way in the sea, and a path in mighty waters, which bringeth forth the chariot and horse, the army and the power. They shall lie down together, they shall not rise. They are extinct, they are quenched as tow. Remember ye not the former things, neither consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it? I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert." So what God is saying here is that if we understand how the sea behaves, it rises and falls with storms, and it can get extremely violent, and it feels like that there's no way out of it. And he says here that he will make a way in those storms and in our lives, that stormy sea and the mighty waters. And he said he will make a path for us. And so when he says, which bringeth forth the chariot and the horse, he's talking about how the sea brings forth that what feels like a war, and just this tumult and everything. And so the army and the power is basically, he's saying that the chariot and the horse is synonymous. He's just kind of giving you another definition or synonyms to go with chariot and horse. They shall lie down together, they shall not rise, they are extinct, they are quenched as tow. So because of God making the way through these storms and the wars, for those of us who do not fear, that is the quenching of our soul, to know that he is there to give us the peace and the comfort through all of that. So this is why we don't pay attention or put our mind on the things of the world. We have to keep our eyes focused on the Lord. And so he's telling us, don't think about the old things. Don't think about those things, and don't dwell on them. They are of old, and they will always become old until he finally comes to make things right for eternity. And he's telling us, he says, look, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. This is where faith comes in, and knowing that we have the hope in that. And he says, shall ye not know it? And he says, I will even make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. So in the word even, if you understand, it means equal. So he will equally make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. Even though these storms are going on, equally, he has a way for us to get through that. The wilderness, which is of dry places. It's a place of temptation. It's a place that we are going to be tempted to be distracted, because they want to keep putting it in your face about what is going on today, when it does nothing but disturb the soul. And so he will quench that. And because the wilderness is dry, we don't want our soul to be dry. We want to have the living waters. And the living waters is the word of God. It is the faith that we have in his promises. It is that hope that we will see that, even on the smallest scale, on an everyday basis. So I just really wanted to give you guys some hope and and to strengthen your faith, because God will do that for you. Look to him. Have your eyes on him and pray that he will be your strength, and he will give that to you. And, you know, just like scripture says, you do not receive because you do not ask. Have that true faith and ask him, even if it is to just strengthen your faith, and to always ask him for something. You know, it says that if, and I said this in one of my previous videos as one of those precious words of the day, that if you remain in me and my words remain in you, ask whatever you will and it will be done for you. So if it just means just asking for a little bit of faith for your strength to keep that faith and to have more hope in these promises right here, he will do that for you, because you are looking to him and not the world, because Jesus says, my peace I give you, not as the world gives you, but my peace. So everyone, let's get started with the 2 earring sets I'm going to make. They are so cute, and I'll show you some of the other pieces that I finished with the bargain bead box. And yeah, and we'll go from there. All right, so here we have two earring sets that we're going to do. And if you can see right here, these cute little stars. Let's bring this out a little bit. And you can see how when the light shines on them, they have that nice AB in there. And all that is really is this container. And they are so tiny. I had gotten this at the dollar store, at the Dollar Tree. And they come in like a 3-pack like this. So you got the tiny little glitter, then you got the little round parts, larger glitter obviously, and then these cute little stamped out stars or punched out stars. They're so cute. And I got them in pink, I got them in green, then I got one thing of silver glitter. I think it's gold. Yeah, the little gold round ones. And then the gold stars like this. They didn't have the packet with the silver stars and the silver little round dots here. Sorry about that. So yeah, but today we're going to use the blue because it matches and I think it's so cute. And I did want to show you some of the 3 items that I made previous, and I will show you those at the end. And we're going to start with this. So let me move these out of the way because that will do second. And so this one here, I know quickly from a distance, it looks like, oh, it's just, you know, a couple of things hanging. But if you look really close at the top, I used those little star things there, almost like bead caps. Okay, and then I took my 4mm jump rings and I connected like 3 of them, and in between connecting the jump rings I added like 2 stars each, and then connected it like that. And then again, I used the bicone in the bargain bead box and put little stars like they are the bead caps. And then also, if you could see on the side, which then would show towards the front, you can see down there like a star right there that is covering that connection from this to that. So this is that little charm, so it's covering the charm hole. And so if you look to the side, I just added one on the charm and then another star, and then close this up. So if you notice here, you don't need to have these going in different directions. They are in the same direction. The same thing with this one on the bottom. They are going in the same direction, so we don't have to have one facing the other way. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take, first we are going to take, so we can make our little links. So we can take 3 of our 4mm. So these are, I would say they're 4mm on the inside and 5 on the out. So we'll go and we're going to take our jump ring, and I hope I stay in frame. So basically, just make sure it's open enough. I know sometimes these are already open, but just a wee bit more helps. And I'm going to move this out of the way. So what we'll need is our little stars, and just check to make sure, because some of them are broken, but they're just used as glitter like. Okay, so we're going to take 2. Okay, we're going to close that up. Some fun stuff when you can get some other arts and crafts at the store. And now we're going to take the other one. Again, just slightly open it. Oops. And then you're going to take that jump ring that you just made with the 2 stars, let those hang, and then you're just going to bring that through the other 2 stars that you had added to the last one. And actually, because that's already on there, you can actually add 2, so you don't even have to close it, because you're just going to have to open it again. So I'm going to find 2 good stars here. Okay, and now we're going to close that. Okay, make sure that's closed and be careful not to crunch your stars. Okay, and then if you can see, those 2 now will fall to the bottom, and we'll do the same thing. And you can make as many links as you want. I'm just doing 3 because we're going to be adding the other beads and giving it some length. Okay, so again, just put it in there and close that up. So now you have that. Okay, so you'll be able to see. And you'll get your nice shimmery going on in there when the light hits it just right. See that? It's so pretty. Okay, so now we're going to just put that aside. We're going to take our moonstone here. There's a beautiful flash in there. And we're going to take 20 gauge. Okay, and I have my 20 gauge here. And you can use your wire straightener. So you just, you know, with a 6mm, maybe 1.5 inches. You really don't need much. 1.5 inches. I'm going to straighten that out a little bit. So you will definitely need 1 for your moonstone and 1 for your little bicone here. This also came in that bargain bead box, and it's very light AB. Very hard to see. The light has to catch it just right. Okay, and just make sure the ends are flush. And about 1.5 inches. You don't need a whole lot. So what I do is, again, I don't need the loops humongous, so I'm just going to go onto where my old marking was here and just make that loop. Make that little P, and then come in and bring that up to make like a little eye pin. Okay. And now, if you just look at the other one, we're going to take one of these, our moonstone, and another star. So it's like a little bead cap. That is just so cute. Can you see that? Okay. Now we're going to take it and go in the same direction. If it doesn't line up perfectly, you can make that adjustment. And we're going to bend that over and then cut this so that you can make the same size loop. If you need to cut a little bit more off, then we can do that. So, and I may have to do that, but we'll see. Come around. Yep, I'm going to just trim off a little. And then bring that back in. Okay, so we have our little loop there. Okay, so I want to make sure that they are going in the same direction. And it's slightly off, not a big deal. Okay, so now we have that. And then we're going to do our bicone. Same thing, get yourself about 1.5 inches. Make sure your end is flush. Okay, we have a nice little head pin there, eye pin. Same thing, we're going to pick up a star, the bicone, a star. Then we're going to bend that, same direction. I know these things are tiny, so it's not always easy to bend them without worrying about cracking your bead. So I'm going to come in here and then go to that smallest part and come around. Now that star might get in the way, but that's okay. We're going to wiggle our way around it and then straighten everything up. In fact, before I close it, it's getting a little crooked here. Okay, now I can go ahead and stick that back in there. And give it a good close right there. And again, make sure they're going the same way. Okay. So now we have that one. Now from here, we're going to go ahead and attach this top ring to our little bead here. Close that up. Okay. Now from here, if you look at here, so we have 3 of those, and we're going to attach it to the bottom, and then from here we're going to have to open up the bottom here to add the stars and the charm. So we'll go ahead and, oops, I want to use this one, not this one. So we're going to go ahead and open that up gently. And then we can open this up now. So we go to the bottom part. Go and open that. We're going to stick on one star. We're going to stick on the charm. And one more star. Okay, so that there's one on each side. This is going to be a little challenging because we want to make sure that when we close it, we're not having that other star that's kind of acting as the bead cap for the bicone to slip past and start hanging down in this area. That's what we don't want. So when you close it, at least it'll keep it in place, because you want them separate. Okay, so now if you look, remember this side has striations, this side has the little, you know, textured look. So we want to make sure that's facing forward. So if you notice here, that is facing forward, so we want to make sure that the front of our ear wire is also facing forward. So we want to turn that around. And get our ear wire, open that. And this is going to be the front. Okay, so we want to make sure that it's going to go in the right direction. Okay. Then we just come in and close that up. And I think that should be it for this one. How easy is that, and how cute. Look at that. So cute. And again, when you look and see the light shining on those stars, I had tried this one on because I made this one earlier, and the light that flashes on this is just truly amazing. And even in this camera, it's not doing the justice of that little tiny flash that you see when the light hits it just right. So it does, you'll see, you'll get the A, B and stuff, but wow. All right, so that's set number 1. Let's go to set number 2, and that will be that for this, creating something, and then I'll just show you the other things that I made, and we'll end the video. So this one here is, again, using the moonstone. We're going to have a couple of the bead caps that came in there. And again, facing in the same direction, you'll have I put stars up there, and it kind of covers that jump ring. Same thing at the bottom, except on the side, because we have the pinch bail that we're using for this beautiful AB, really fat teardrop here. So, and that is kind of on the side there. So it's kind of disguising the jump rings. It just gives it a little more design. Okay, and cover up. Okay, so we're going to take our pinch bail. This is stainless steel. It is called John Beads. I did get them at artbeads.com. They are stainless steel, and they are a 9mm. Okay. Actually, I don't want to use that, but this one. So they are stainless steel, so they're not just going to crimp real easy on there. So I wanted this just a wee bit closed so I can actually get it on here and not have, let's see, Let me do it a little bit more. Oops. Move that out of the way because I think the camera's trying to focus on that. Just close it a little bit. And then I want to have the AB facing the front when we do our, once we start hanging it up. Because as you can see here, the AB is on one side and so the other side is not. You only get a reflection of it, okay? So I want this AB in the front. So we'll put that on, and when we adjust it to, okay, so now I have it in here. Gently, you don't want to crack your bead, and you want to close it on in there. Not super tight because it still needs to swing. Just enough. Okay, and certainly so it doesn't fall out. Okay, so we're going to put that here, and then again we'll take our moonstone bead and our 2 bead caps, and we're going to make a P. Yeah, I think that's cut. Yep. So we don't need a whole lot again. And come back in here. Now we have our and we'll put on a bead cap, our moonstone. I just love this blue moonstone. Whoops. Bead cap this way. Okay. And we're going to bend it. And again, this one is going to be in opposite directions. Okay, for this one. Sorry about that, because I have it so close I keep forgetting I'm going out of. So this is going to be in opposite directions. Okay, so we have that here, and I want to hold on to that and bend that. And come in here, close that, give that a nice close on that bead cap to keep it in place. Okay, now we'll just double check, make sure everything is nice. And make it nice and opposite. Okay. Now I cut from that bargain bead box stainless steel cable chain, and I cut 3 pieces that have 7 links each. Now you can do 3, you can do 5. I'm doing the 7, and I can always change it later if I feel it's too long. But there are 7 little links here. So what I'm going to do is take one of the these here. I guess it wouldn't matter. We're going to open this. We're going to add a star. Whoops. A little wiggly. Keeps wanting to spin around on me. Okay. That's that bead cap is in the way. because my fingers are pushing it up. Okay, so we're going to put it on the star. Hold on a second, guys. I'm trying to hold that bead cap down because that's the thing that's getting in the way of me trying to get this star on. Okay. So now I got the star on, and what I want to do is add the 3. I want to add the jump ring. Where is it? Yep, the jump ring. Okay. Hold on one second. I didn't close my jump ring. One second. Oh boy. I have to close this. But what I want to do is get the 3 wires on there, or the 3 chain pieces first. Okay. So I'm going to hold that. I'm going to add the 3. Make sure they're going in the same direction. And 1. It shouldn't be difficult to do it in the same direction. 2. 3. All right, so you have that 3. Now, let's get this on. Oops. Wow, I'm really like, oh, forgetting all kinds of things today. All right, so now that we have that, now we can add this on here. Because we already have the star on, so now we want to add that jump ring and then another star. And then we can close it. So I'm just going to have to wiggle my way around that bead cap that's driving me nuts. Okay, now to get in there, to close that. Okay, let that. Okay, phew, wow, it's really not that hard. I mean, it's bead caps, you know, get in the way when you have to reopen your loop to put things on it. So now you can see that there's a star on each side. Okay. Just like on this one. Same thing. Now we're going to go ahead and add the jump ring to the bottom. But we have to add our chain. Add the chain to the jump ring to the chain. So make sure that they are lined up. And you want to go 1, 2, and oops. It's slipping out of my tool here. Here, I'm going to lay this down because it was easier for me to hopefully this is not going to be an issue. I didn't have this much difficulty. It's always just the camera. You know, what do they call that? Murphy's Law? What could go wrong will. And it seems to never fail when you get on to the camera and you just can't seem to do something that took you 3 seconds to do off of camera. So apparently I'm going to have to do this one at a time here. And, all right, guys, I'm going to get this on off camera. Okay, so I got it on there. Of course, it didn't take that long because the camera wasn't on. It's 1, 2, 3. Boy, that is frustrating, I have to tell you. Okay, so I'm hoping that they are hanging in the right direction. I didn't get any of them twisted up. They should be facing the same. Okay, now we have the bottom one here, and we're going to have to reopen that to get those stars on once we put on our bottom teardrop here. Okay, all right, now so I got them all together. I just want to make sure it's hanging in the right direction. Yeah, see, something doesn't seem right. Hold on, guys. Okay, yeah, one of them was twisted. Okay, so let's open this back up. And we're going to put a star on one side. Okay, we are going to put on our veil with our little thing, and now we're going to hold this side. Actually, I got to bring that up a little bit more, and then another star. Okay. Wow, it was not this hard making this off camera. Okay. But I'm supposing that those of you who make jewelry, you totally understand this. It's the weirdest thing. We all experience it. The minute you get on camera, nothing goes as easy as when you're just creating the piece for your video. So you can show your... Okay, so now we have the front. Oops, is that the front? This is the front. Okay, so I want to lay it down like that. And then I'm going to take my earpiece. These are stainless steel, and these ones have the ball and coil. I just take them off and make my own ear wires. Some of you who have watched any of my videos before, I showed you how to do that in one of the previous videos on this channel. So I'm going to go ahead and open that. And I want to make sure that that is facing the same way. Okay, so I'm going to insert, oops, put that on the front. And then I'm going to go ahead and close that up. And then I'm going to show you a few of the other items that I made. And more will come from this box because it truly is really cool stuff in here. Okay. All right. And look at that. So there's the front. Let me get that to hang right. There's the front with that. And I want to make sure if I can see it right. Wait a minute. And there it is. And there's that. So you can see that the AB is on half of it. It only reflects through the other side. It's kind of cool. All right, so I have this here. I gotta flip that one around. And then these ones I made with those cute little dangles right here. Oops. All right, let me come out a little. Okay, so here, you know, I have that agate, that heated and dyed agate. I have the apatite, the tiny little 3 millimeters in there. I put 2 of the bead caps together to kind of give it that saucer bead look there. If you can see that. That's kind of cool. So I didn't even have to add a different bead. I just put 2 bead caps together. And then I just dangled them from here using my, I guess my 4mm. I would say that they are about 4.5 millimeter. Okay. And then the stainless steel ear hooks and 20 gauge wire. So I have those. These ones are really, really cool. And you'll get that little sparkle with that 3mm faceted apatite there. Okay, then I have, okay, where is it? Oh, it was just here. Hold on, guys. All right, so I have this one here with that beautiful 3 snowflake link stainless steel. And I used the crackle agate with the apatite in between. It is just so pretty. And you know, it just seems to me when I use my gemstones and you know, and how they facet some of the gemstones, it just makes it so much prettier. I don't know, and definitely worth more if you are going to sell your stuff. Gemstones obviously will bring in more for, you know, if you're just using just regular, you know, crystals. And yeah, so I would definitely try to use gemstones more often, because we do get a lot of them in our subscriptions, so you might as well use them to make beautiful bracelets or necklaces with them. Okay, so I put that on here. And that was the toggle that I used here, and all the bead caps in there. And I'm only down to, I think, like 4 bead caps. I think that's it. I'm not sure. I may be even fully out of them at this point, because we only got 40 of them. So I used, you know, the 2, let's see, 2, 4, 6. I used 8 there, and then 24 in that one. So yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. And then these, and now this one here, I use the steel chain. I have this on my bust. I'm just so excited. I love these colors. You can make them so you can wear them all year round, which I know I will. And that's the other thing. I like to try to make some of these items that I know I am going to wear. I'm not somebody that just wears like multi-strands of just gobs of bead. I don't wear that. So this one here is that pendant, that 39mm pendant, and I have the dyed and heated blue agate here, 8mm, and I have the bicones in there and the crackle agate. And I put some of my Miyuki beads to just put a little space in here for my gemstone to stay on the wire and not have any opportunity for that wire to slip through that jump ring line there. Because if it gets pulled, if it just happens to open in any way, I don't want to lose my stone here. So this is the front actually. So I love this because this reminds me of being out. It's almost like you're walking by very dim moonlight and you just are able to see, you know, some beautiful things with just a little bit of light. Sometimes you don't know what you're looking at, but it's still beautiful. And that's what this stone reminds me of. It's kind of amazing actually. So yeah. I have that on the 7-strand beadle-on wire, and I used crimping, the 2, if you can see right here, I used the 2, number 2 crimp bead, crimp tube, and the stainless steel chain here, and the toggle that came in with it. I don't really prefer this toggle too much because it seems like there's only one way in and one way out. And that is right here, having to go down into that divot there. But to try to get it in another way is very, very tedious and hard to do. So I don't like struggling with toggles. You should be able to, you know, pull it in and have this bar long enough to stay there. But to have to try to get it in this little loop and not be able to get it out any other way, it's, yeah, it's strange. So, see, you can't do it like that. You have to go in and let that slip through this area here. So I don't know. So I'll probably change this toggle out at some point, but I did want to show it to you because it did come in the box, and it's a very nice toggle. I happen to like it. I just don't like struggling with something when I want to put it on. And so it's not the greatest design in toggles. Okay, so that's that, everyone, and I'll be back with more. And you know, I have other subscriptions that I'm going to be working on. I certainly have my Annie's coming up. I've already started working on that. I'm finishing up that tutorial, and so that'll be coming up as well. And in fact, it probably is going to come out before this video, so I'm not sure yet. So just keep an eye out for that if you have not seen it yet, if Chris has not uploaded it yet to YouTube. If you've already seen it, I hope you enjoyed it. And everyone, I hope that you have a beautiful day. And again, just keep your eyes and your mind's eye on the Lord, and He will absolutely give you the promises that He has stated in His Word if you look to Him and you do not fear and keep your mind on the things of the world, because those things are disturbing and they are no peace whatsoever. But the peace that you get from the Lord is absolutely true. So everyone, I love you. God bless, and we will see you again. Bye-bye.